People's recall of facts fundamentally is impacted by a frame, a psychological frame, and we see that in lots of different contexts in terms of people's beliefs and interpretations about facts, actually. I think a lot of us who are more educated and spend time doing this work, we think, well, if we can just show the person the study, or if we can just show the person that, hey, this is evidence that it rained yesterday, obviously their mind will be changed and we will be able to move forward and make policy. And we've got so much social science that shows that that's just not true.
So one of the remarkable things about a human is that there's certain things I know about the world, there's certain beliefs that I have, and I can actually think about the mind of a person who doesn't share those beliefs. Slowly our field is realizing that we might be the only species that's capable of doing that, that's really truly capable of thinking about what it would be like if we thought something different or had a different perspective. The problem is that our ability to take other people's perspectives is pretty new in evolutionary terms. In our lab, we've decided that that means it's probably pretty glitchy. One of the glitches we've been interested in is a phenomenon that's called Alter-centric interference. It's the idea that other people's perspective can sometimes mess with your own in ways that you don't realize. In other words, it affects us, who the person is that's giving us the information. And I think this leads to the kinds of things we see in journalism where we start worrying about things like echo chambers, right? It's not just that everybody's opinion on Facebook gets in, but the more I identify with you separately, the less of a filter I have on the information you give me.
People care about the groups to which they belong. If I think of you as a member of my group, whatever that group is, I automatically trust you more, I like you more, I think you're smarter, I will sacrifice for you. That's how we evolved.
I'm a this kind of person, I'm a this sort of political party, a person who supports this candidate. When we feel that way, our psychologies do something different. They don't use the normal processes of critical thinking and evaluating evidence. They use a different set of processes that are about thinking and learning from your in-group.
That tends to perpetuate itself because if I just see myself as different from a group, I'm going to begin to see my group is better and the other group is worse. I am going to now look for information in my environment that supports that my group is better and the other group is worse. I am going to, when I have the resources and the power, promote my group at the expense of the other group. And we create a reality that is actually one of conflict, but one we believe to be absolutely true and right.
Fear is the most powerful human emotion. And when we are made afraid of something, it's incredibly hard for us to process information about the world accurately. When we're in a situation of fear, we're in many ways unable even to visually encode information about the world. So advertising that plays off of fear plays off it in such a way that even if subsequent to that you gave people information, they approach it with an attitude of suspicion and an attitude of doubt.
When people are in a position to feel like they're losing power, to feel like they're being made fun of, or to feel like they're kind of not at the standing they were, it's just very primate behavior to kind of lash out. There's a thing in primates, the monkey species I study, rhesus monkeys, called redirected aggression, which is that the monkeys have a very clear dominance hierarchy where there's an alpha and a beta and they just kind of are annoyed and go down the line. So if the alpha's in a bad mood, he'll threaten and be mean to the beta, but it's not like the beta just takes that. The beta does that to the guy who's lower than him, and sometimes you can literally see it go down the line. There's a sense in which certain parts of our population have just not felt like the dominant monkey for a really long time. And those folks are angry, excited to change that, excited to feel powerful again. I think that a lot of our standard psychology plays into how these things happen.